Many people ask how they can increase their credit score fast. And in this video, I'm going to show you a credit hack, not only to increase your credit score by 200 points fast, but also to keep it that way and to maintain it. Now, when you're trying to increase your credit score fast, you always want to focus on utilization. Utilization is 30% of your credit score, and utilization is debt to available credit on your revolving credit card. Now, when it comes down to utilization, it changes every month depending on if you're carrying a balance on that credit card. So if people are not paying their credit cards completely down, they'll see their credit scores go up and down if they continue to carry those balances and those balances increase. Also, it's very important that you need to pay your credit cards before they report to the credit bureaus. So I'm going to break down 5 steps that you can follow to stop this from happening to you, and how to access cash to even pay down these debts. And we're going to start with the first one. Now, the first step, you want to make sure you're paying your credit cards before the report date. Now, the report date is the date that your credit card companies report your credit card balances to the 3 major credit bureaus. So understand your report date can change every month. Generally, it's going to be 4 to 5 days after the payment due date. So some people do pay down their card on the payment due date, but if you begin to use that credit card after that payment due date and you didn't let that card report, that utilization that you used on that card will still report on your credit report. You have to stop using that card until the new balance report. And so people will go through this vicious cycle. Now, in order to exactly know this date, you need to call your credit card companies and they can give you a window of time when your individual credit cards will report to the 3 major credit bureaus. But if you want something more exact, in my elite credit system, we use Smart Credit as our credit score provider, and they have a tool called Score Boost, and it will tell you the exact days you need to pay each credit card and how many points you'll gain by doing that. But you want to make sure that before you take these other steps, you want to pay your card utilization down overall from 1 to 10%. Now, the way this can work, you might have one particular card with a really high balance and the other cards are not so bad. So if you can bring down that higher card utilization and pay it and let it report, those subsequent cards, if they're already paid down and that is on your credit report reporting, you need to hurry up and complete the next steps that I'm saying, because you're going to get a boost in your credit score and you can get up to 150 points depending on how your utilization is. Now, keep in mind, this is just going to be temporary. So you need to work fast and make sure that you do the following steps before the next cards report if you have put more utilization on those credit cards, because credit cards can only report every 30 days. So you have some time, but you want to make sure none of your cards are close to being maxed out and your overall utilization from 1 to 10%. Now let's go to the next step. Now that your credit card utilization is showing lower temporarily, the next step that you want to take, step number 2, is get a business credit card. Now understand, you don't have to make any money. If you sign up for Uber Eats to do deliveries or my inspection book or any other type of business, you are eligible for a business credit card. And you can do that in your own personal name. And you want to make sure the most important step that you're taking is getting a EIN number to have the business report the balances there on that business credit card. Now, you can get more funding if you set up a corporation or a LLC, and you want to make sure you set everything up right, because you can get $50,000 very easy within 24 hours of credit card funding, and you can get business funding even if you have bad credit. I have a seminar on March 16th, 2024, and showing you how to do that. So if you want to sign up, the link will be in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section. But one of the things you want to keep in mind, you want to kind of stay away from risky businesses. And if you have an actual business that you really want to launch that's risky, you want to make sure you select the proper codes of risk for that business. Step 3, you want to incorporate or start your LLC. So when you are going to set up that LLC, if you want to get more funding or a corporation, you can use Bizee and they'll set that up for you. Now, one thing I do suggest is they do have an expedient package, and you might want to consider that, because depending on when your card's going to report, you want to go and attain and apply for these cards before that balance shows back up on your credit reports. And with Bizee, they can expedite that process of getting you that LLC. Now, another important step that's going to go along with that, Bizee can get you a business bank account. Now, you can set up one on your own, but this is going to be a step that you need to take before you apply for these business credit cards. And with these business credit cards, what you're going to do is report your utilization on your business card, because if you're doing Uber Eats or the inspections like I have in my book, you have the at-home business. And so some of your light bills, your utility bills, because you have an at-home business, now you can report some of your utilization running that business and move it over to that business credit card, reporting to the EIN number, and it no longer shows on your personal credit profile. Now, there is some things that you need to know. Certain companies, like for instance, Capital One, Discover, they have business credit cards that will report on your personal and on your business side. And you want to stay away from those types of cards. You want to go with the majority of the banks that will only report to your business EIN number. And so when you add that onto your application, it will report there. So next, I'm going to show you a way to start moving that utilization off of your personal credit report onto that business EIN number. Now, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer. I am not an attorney, and this does not constitute legal advice. This is only for educational purposes only. So if you're going to start a business, you should consult an attorney or an accountant. The next step, when you're looking for these business credit cards, you want to kind of aim for those with 0 APR for an introductory period, like 15 months, or some of them 12 months, or it might say 15 billing cycles. And so with that, you can use Melio Payments or even Plastiq, those kind of payment services, which are free to sign up and no subscription, to start to move your utilization onto that business credit card. Now, you can even use these platforms for your personal credit cards, and it's beneficial so you can get reward points, but you'll have that utilization show up on your personal credit report if you carry balances. Now, if you attach a business credit card, these payment services can send out a check for you with that payment to certain vendors that don't receive credit card payments, or you can pay your rent with your business credit card, especially if you're a person that's doing the Uber Eats or a at-home business like the inspections that I'm talking about. Because if your home office is in your home, you can equate your rent as your office, your utilities, and different other payments, Wi-Fi, cell phone bill. You can pay it through your credit card on your business credit card and then apply those payments to your personal credit report, because you are now shifting that utilization over to that business credit card. So that will allow you to free up money and to pay your credit card utilization down on your personal side, and you're shifting it to your business credit cards. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to these services, some like Plastiq will even let you pay your auto lease, but certain payments you cannot pay with a credit card on both of these platforms. Now, one in particular, you would not be able to pay a loan or your credit cards itself. So you wouldn't be able to take that credit card whole balance and send a check, or do a wire transfer through these platforms to your other credit card to kind of switch up the balances. But what you can do is free up your own individual capital and pay down those cards on your personal side while shifting your bills on that business credit card. Now, one thing when it comes down to Melio or Plastiq, please keep in mind they do have a service fee when you're using your credit card of 2.9%. And so you want to just keep that in mind when you're using that credit card for that payment on their system. Now, another thing you can do, you can actually get cash off of those business credit cards. And I'm going to tell you the last and final step to do so if you want to pay down those cards completely from the items that you could not cover with those payment services. Now, the last way you can actually access cash off of those business credit cards with a cash advance. Now, a cash advance on a credit card normally, or even a business credit card, is going to trigger a cash advance fee. Now, an average cash advance fee will be like 5%. Now, it depends on what card and what terms. There could be some extra fees, but you can pull that actual cash off that card. Now, a cheaper way that you can get cash off that card is using services like Cash App. You can set up your business credit card to Cash App and transfer that money to someone else that you trust, maybe a spouse, and send money from that credit card. Now, for certain banks, this can trigger even a cash advance fee. At sometimes Chase may be notorious for that, so I will stay away from them with that. But other banks, what you can do with Cash App, if it doesn't trigger a cash advance fee from your bank, Cash App is going to charge you 3% on the cash that you send. And so with that, when you send that cash to someone you trust, they can pull that cash off that Cash App or in their bank account and give you the cash. And so you will have access to that and shift over your utilization off of your personal credit report, because that cash that you receive now, you can put in your business and your personal income that you're making on your job. So then you can use that personal income to pay down those debts on your personal credit card. Now, keep in mind, if some of those personal like bills and utilization on your personal credit card is towards a business that you were doing, like a lot of people do, Uber Eats and stuff, and they did not have that business set up, then you can transfer and use that money there, but you can't technically mix personal things with business items. So the cash that you pull off the card, you can put into your business, and then your personal cash that you might have some items of utilization, use your personal income to pay down that personal debt there, and use the business credit card cash to fund your business. Okay, so hopefully this information was helpful, and that way you can hide your utilization and maintain your credit score. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comments section, or if you have more direct questions for me, you can always submit them at my website, and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.